On to item 7.4, consideration of appointments to the Commercial Cannabis Ordinance Task Force. And I know this was brought forward. This is also brought forward by Community Development Director. And thank you for waiting on this last item that took.
Good afternoon.
Somebody,
Oh, it's Anita's shoulder.
click.
You'll make it.
We're ready for when you are.
So, good afternoon, Board. This is Mary Darby, Director of CDD, and we are presenting before you today the applications that were received for the consideration of the Commercial Cannabis Task Force Ad Hoc Committee that was continued from the June 21st, 2022 Board of Supervisors agenda. Just for your memory, so at the Board of Supervisors meeting on June 21st, 2022, the board reviewed and considered 12 applications for possible appointment to the Commercial Cannabis Task Force Ad Hoc Committee. Due to a discrepancy in the receipt of the applications and how they were received, the board voted to extend the deadline date to July 6th, close of business day. That's July 6, 2022. The board also directed staff that the application should come through the administration offices because the application would receive a receipt based on the applications that were turned in. CDD received an application via email yesterday for your information for the task force to be appointed to the task force. However, the deadline date had closed, but the applicant stated that on the website there was not a deadline date. We do have a green sheet of that, if you can give this to them, of the application that was received yesterday. Having provided the basic background of our June 21st meeting, our new assistant planner, Mary Claiborne, will be giving this presentation on the applications for consideration for the Cannabis Task Force. Thank you. I'll turn it over to her at this time.
Good afternoon, Chair and Board. My name is Mary Claiborne. I'm an assistant planner with Community Development assigned to the Cannabis section of the Planning Division. I did want to make a quick correction to that. We actually received this application in person yesterday at the Cannabis window. Moving forward with the presentation, there's some background here. Mary had gone through a little bit of this with you, so I'll touch on this briefly. The CDD conducted a presentation to the Board of Supervisors on issues and concerns regarding existing cannabis ordinance on May 24th, 2022. CDD held commercial cannabis workshops to address issues and concerns with revised commercial cannabis ordinance on May 25th, 2022. This was with the cannabis industry, and there were 30 participants in attendance. The Community Development Department held commercial cannabis workshop on May 26th. This was for general public, tribal nations, and agencies, and there were 21 participants. Those workshops were recorded, and the videos were shared with the Board of Supervisors on June 7th, 2022. The board identified categories for Task Force Ad Hoc Committee at the June 7th, 2022 meeting. Applications were posted on the CDD website on June 8th and placed on Granicus on June 7th, 2022. On June 21st, 2022, Board of Supervisors presentation was continued to today, July 12th, 2022. The revised Cannabis Ordinance Task Force was approved by the Board of Supervisors. The deadline for interested parties to submit their applications to CDD or Clerk of the Board was July 6th. The Board of Supervisors' final individual appointments for task force will be at the meeting here today, July 12th, and the task force first meeting should be scheduled sometime in late July. The task force composition is as follows: Tribal Government, Lake County Cannabis Alliance, a community member from the Northeast Northwest area, a community member from the Southeast Southwest area, a member of the Farm Bureau, the Agricultural Commissioner, and a member of the cannabis industry. The applications that have been received as of June 20th, 2022, we have received 1 application from Tribal Government, 3 applications from the Lake County Cannabis Alliance, 3 applications from community members within the Northeast, Northwest areas, 7 applications from community members within the Southeast, Southwest areas, 3 applications from the Farm Bureau. There is 1 position for the Agricultural Commissioner, and 3 applications from the cannabis industry. That does not include the application that was received yesterday that you have in your hands here. And that application is actually a community member from the Northwest region, also a member of the Lake County Cannabis Alliance, and also someone who is an avid participant within the cannabis industry as well. The applicants as of June 20th, 2022, and I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's names, are Sabrina Andrus, Jesse Kude, Richard Lavelle, Roberta Lyons, Aaron McCarrick, Lori Corella, Donna Makowitz, Dawn Van Pelt, Bobby Dutcher, Kristen Callahan, William Weiss, Autumn Carsey, Jan Coppinger, Kristen Murray, Robert Geary, Jennifer Smith, Chris Jennings, Nora Delbaca, James Comstock, Sharon Zoller, and the most recently, Tyler Mitchell. The next steps for this, the Cannabis Program Manager will spearhead this task force. They will schedule the meetings, discuss logistics, formulate goals of the task force, and the Program Manager will will provide a follow-up to the Board of Supervisors after the board's consideration. And this concludes my presentation.
Thank you. All right. Supervisor Pyska.
So when we had this discussion last time, I think we were going to leave it up to the Farm Bureau to decide who their representative was, because I know we have applicants who have Farm Bureau on their application, but they're not necessarily representing the Farm Bureau. And I think the prudent thing to do would be ask the Farm Bureau, probably it's their executive director, on who they want to represent them.
And is that person present or in the?
And no application.
And no application.
But they don't require one.
But I think we just leave that position open for the Farm Bureau to make that decision.
Okay.
I spoke with one of the applicants, Will Weiss, and he does have that on his application, but he's not, he doesn't speak for the Farm Bureau. He actually applied as a community member. So I think there's some other distinctions that we should really kind of look into.
Go ahead, Mary.
I'm sorry, Chair, would you like us to read the names, the 3 names from the Farm Bureau that we received, or would we just like to wait?
Well, let us, who is it that you have designated from Farm Bureau?
So James Weiss, James Comstock, and Bobby Dutcher.
So they have Farm Bureau on their application as one of the groups that they're a member of. But I think we'd be discrediting the Farm Bureau by picking somebody without their approval. And
Seems to be Rebecca or who she
Right.
delegates.
right.
For sure. Other one.
I think we have a lot of applicants that have kind of crossed over the different designations. That makes it a little tricky.
Go ahead, Supervisor Simon.
My only question on that would be, obviously, when we were talking last time, we didn't have any folks from the tribal community. Now we have a tribal
Yeah.
community member on the list, which I think is excellent. I hadn't heard a lot, but I'm glad that Bob Geary's name is on here. So we have a tribal representative. So with the Farm Bureau, and has there been any direct conversations with them of picking somebody or any? I don't have much interaction with the Farm Bureau, but I know there's, right, at least the agricultural board, someone from the Farm Bureau goes there. Was there any conversation, or has there been any conversation? No, I haven't had
Yeah,
any,
well,
so
when
I'm asking the rest.
Yeah, when I had the conversation with Will, he didn't feel comfortable speaking for the Farm Bureau.
Oh,
And
okay.
he wanted to let me know, like, hey, I have it on my application, but I'm not speaking for the Farm Bureau. I'm applying as an individual. So I think, when we had the conversation on the very first day, my intention was to invite the executive director of the Farm Bureau because that's the paid employee to represent the lobbying group.
I had to check my email just to make sure. I didn't want to misrepresent, but I did get an email, and so did Director Darby, from Rebecca Harper, the executive director, that said, "Good afternoon. I was made aware that there is some confusion surrounding who the Lake County Farm Bureau's task force representative would be. As the executive director, I will be fulfilling that seat on behalf of Lake County Farm Bureau. If you have any questions or need anything from me, please do not hesitate to contact me."
Okay.
Oh,
So-
there it is.
There you go.
Okay.
That takes care of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
All right. Okay.
So we have one tribal member, so that is probably who's going to fill that seat.
Yeah, that seems pretty simple.
Yeah.
Robert Geary.
Then we have the Ag Commissioner, and we have the Farm Bureau. So those 3 seem done.
So we need to figure out the Cannabis Alliance, and then there's 2 of them,
The
right?
Cannabis Alliance, the cannabis industry, and the public seats.
Okay.
I know we have the application for the president of the Cannabis
Jennifer Smith,
Alliance, so I think that's probably the best person to hold that seat.
For the Cannabis Alliance?
I would be in agreement with that,
For the Cannabis Alliance, that one?
Jennifer.
Okay, I agree. I'm fine
Yeah.
with that if I think that's a consensus, yeah.
For members of the public, we also have a lot of crossover applications where people are, have dabbled, even, or have relationships with people that are in the industry or have come against the industry. So I think some of the applicants have some bias, and it would be, in my mind, best to pick the applicants that don't show a bias, or seem pretty neutral, because we do have these other categories represented. So I wanted to see how you felt about that.
What I did instead of that, it was hard for me to determine. I just picked the ones I know that speak out against and speak for.
Right.
So I could balance my picks for that, but I'm willing to work with everyone on that. I pretty much picked 3 of each when it comes to the members, because I knew that maybe they would, so at least I know that if I have to agree on another with you all, I would be able to do that, so,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
My 2 picks for the community position, they're both in my district, so I know that's not what we were looking for originally. We wanted to have them regionally spaced out, but they have really, well, Jan has just an incredible amount of experience working on ordinances and working with the county, and has no bias, and I think would be an asset to this committee. But then also Sabrina Andrus is a very successful business owner in Kelseyville, was past president of the Kelseyville Business Association. So I think those 2 represent really strong areas in our economy and in our government. And Sabrina's also has a law degree. So although it doesn't fit with the regional designations, I feel like those 2 would be very strong for those seats.
And so I'm trying to determine which ones are, so they would be on the northwest or so, how would that?
Well, that's the funny part. They're right in the middle of the county, so
Yeah,
I don't know how Kelseyville,
Yeah,
Cobb
'cause I
area
don't-
is designated.
yeah, go ahead, Mary.
Looking at our GIS system, we would look at address determination and see exactly where they would fall within Kelseyville.
Okay, so Sabrina would be in Kelseyville and Jan would be in Cobb.
Okay.
But if you have other suggestions, I just felt those were the 2 strongest overall.
I didn't know how to pick, so I just picked like from southwest to northwest, and I assumed I knew what that meant, but I don't know what that means. They were part of my picks when it came to that. I was thinking that they were part of this side, and then the other side, I had picked Dawn Van Pelt and Roberta Lyons on the other. I thought maybe they were on the other side of that. So, but I know that when it came to alternate picks, Sabrina was one of mine, and so was Jan. But I don't. Again, the outlay of where they're placed at, that was one of my concerns as well. So, again, the 2 that I had was Dawn and Sabrina. So I thought maybe, at least I know that you agree with that one in some instance. So, but on the other side, in the other area, Dawn came with a lot of recommendations from the community as well, of that area, when it came to that, so.
Sorry, I was checking on the fire for sure.
It's
out
okay.
officially.
All
Oh,
right.
good.
And a real fire, not a business or, okay. From my point of view, Jan Coppinger, I think, I got no problem with Jan going on, but she's always been open-minded, worked through the process, and a real deep thinker of, how to continue existing in this current environment. So Jan is good. And yeah, understanding the dynamics all the way around the lake. I know there's a bunch of District 1 and, South County folks here. We'll kind of defer to, that delineation to get on the other side of the lake. That's the challenge. And where is Roberta Lyons? Is she
She's also
down on our
in
side?
District
Or
5.
She's in
She's
District
in-
5 too?
Yeah, she's in Jago Bay.
Okay.
Is it with the change?
But I would
or
be
before
okay
the change?
with that also.
She's mine. She's in my district.
No.
Oh.
Was she already in your district before redistricting?
Yeah.
Or- Gotcha. I wasn't
That
sure how
side of
far-
it didn't change. The Jago Bay Lower Lake side didn't change.
Gotcha.
All right.
Well, who are your picks?
I will be voting for none. I don't agree with the amount of time being spent on this process. I think this is not a benefit economically to our community. I think there's a lot of time being spent when there's a much easier process. If there's a need to amend, we can amend. That still provides a public conversation. But I think that CDD is better served working on other items such as housing or other things. This is a very long, drawn-out process that will require a lot of time. And I just will not be voting on this today.
All right, so we do have basically similar votes when it comes to at least Ms. Andrus, right? I don't know if that was one of yours as well.
No, but I'm okay with that if that's, yeah.
So, okay.
So I know that one seems to have, that was one of my picks as well, so. But then there's the other one, so I don't know how that looks. Because I know that mine was Dawn, of course, and then, of course, I don't know if Roberta's on that side or whatever, but I have her listed next to it. And then, I think it's Donna as my third on that, but, yeah, so you said Jan,
Jan.
and you said you were just amenable to some of the picks, or the one that was in your district?
Yeah, well,
Dawn?
obviously to work with you on that side of the lake over there, we don't have anything on the north side of the lake yet, so if you're recommending Don Van Peltwell for that side of the lake, then,
Yeah.
because I don't know the addresses or where they're all at. Who else is on the north, who else is on that side of the lake?
Northeast, he's in northeast. He would be
Northeast.
considered, I think. I don't know if that's right.
Northeast, northwest, what, north?
West would be, I'm thinking, see, I was looking at it from this. Northeast would be like Clear Lake Oaks, and northwest would be like Upper Lake. I don't know, in
There's
Lakeport.
not many people
Yeah.
in northeast, so yes, I would say Clear Lake.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you have
Out of South Canada.
Holly. Where did I see the names?
Oh, no, you mean Holly and Chuck Lamb?
Holly Harris and Randy.
Oh, no, they recommended Dawn.
Okay.
I have a question about Don, though. Is he going to be a neutral party for this discussion?
For North.
Well, he says he would be.
Well, yeah, okay, because we want to move the conversation forward.
Right.
Well, I think that was some of the general conversation we were having. This board is just to help us move forward. We're going to go through that process. The debate on whether cannabis is here or not that should be over. It should be moving the process forward with the current ordinance we have in place and helping streamline that to take in community concerns and all through the board. So I think Mary did a good job of that.
Thank you.
When we started talking about that in the beginning, and I know it was reiterated at the board, of trying to move forward.
That is
And
correct.
not continue that conversation. So we are either for it or against it, but if you're going to be on the board, it's working towards a common goal for both sides.
That is correct. So in terms of the North application, the addresses that I've received, one would be Don Van Pelt, William Weiss, Donna Makowitz, and Bobby Dutcher.
Well, for me, then, I'm okay with Don Pelt. I will say that.
I'm sorry.
He's not in the north, though, right? Wait, was he in?
Yeah.
Oh, he
Based on
was.
the
Oh,
address.
sorry.
Yes. And we also have a Lori Corella.
Okay, so if it's that group, Will is part of the Farm Bureau, but he was also, he has deep policy experience. He was a congressional staffer in DC, and worked in journal, I think he was a congressional staffer, maybe I don't have that one, maybe that's somebody else. But anyway, he worked in DC for a long time on Capitol Hill, and has that policy understanding. So although he is part of the Farm Bureau and he is an agriculture, I'll just bring that up as another.
Did you have something to add?
No, I just wanted her to repeat. Can you, Supervisor, repeat the name?
It's Will Weiss.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe you read it out as James Weiss.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Maybe that's his whole name.
William Weiss.
Okay, so he's not part of the, he says that he's a member of the Farm Bureau, but he doesn't represent because the
Correct.
actual director said she'd represent. I mean, if it's a consensus, I'm willing, to agree, but, I just was only stating Dawn's, to apply Dawn, not only with the recommendations and whatnot, but I know that he's had serious concern. But when it comes to experience in that manner, I would agree with you. I just know the passion that Mr. Van Pelt has for it, so, and the support that it's given to him, so therefore, that's why, yeah. But if I was outvoted, that's the way it goes, so.
Thanks, I guess you guys are putting it on me then. I will go ahead and, yeah, that's what I'm here for, I guess. So, obviously, made my point about Jan and heard conversations both about Don and Wade. So, make it a challenge. So, and these are the last two, huh? These are the last two appointments here?
I believe
So-
you need the industry.
Yeah, we haven't.
We have to do the industry.
We need the industry, so, okay. So my recommendation then would be, after all the conversation and talking through things, would be Mr. William Weiss and Jan Coppinger.
I can do that.
I can do so too,
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great.
if that's the case.
And so we still need someone for the cannabis industry. So I can read off what I have so far.
Okay.
So I have Rebecca Harper for the Farm Bureau, Robert Gary for Tribal, the Ag Commissioner, Catherine Vanderwall, the Cannabis Alliance, Jennifer Smith, and William Weiss for the North Side, and Jan Coppinger for South. Okay. So we have the cannabis industry remaining. Sorry, my double-sided pages are not working very well.
The cannabis industry is,
You got Aaron McCarrick, Kristen Callahan, Autumn Carsey, Chris Jennings,
yeah.
James Comstock. I don't know about the others.
So my two recommendations would be Autumn and Chris.
Is it one or two?
It's one, but those are the two people that I put forward.
Yeah, my pick was Aaron.
I think Erin would be really great, but she's also, what's her position at?
Oh, at Clear Lake?
No, the Cannabis Alliance.
Oh, I
I think
see.
she's vice.
Yeah, she's
Okay,
and that was the only reason I didn't pick her.
but I didn't know that really. I knew it, but I didn't know it, like, I didn't think about it, so. Well,
Okay, can I just, in terms of our applications that we received for the cannabis industry, the names would be Autumn Carsey, Chris Jennings, Nara Delbaca, Christian Callahad, and Aaron McCarrick.
Nara was one of my picks, yeah.
But I think Nora said, in her application, wasn't she going for the community position?
I'm sorry, which name did you mention?
Nara? I think she's great too. She has a lot of policy experience, but I thought that she was looking at the community position.
She did not identify
She
which
didn't. Okay.
committee.
Well, I actually had her
Yeah, on her
my three.
on her application, she put community position.
Yeah,
Okay, and that's why I scratched her name off.
okay.
It does
But-
say.
Board commission category under which you are applying.
She put Commercial Cannabis Task Force / community position.
Okay, she must have submitted a second application because my application, it is blank.
Oh, maybe she filled that part out afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
I'm okay with Nara though, even though she filled out
I
her
am too.
application.
Yeah, I am too.
okay.
We good on that one? Or do you have another one? because that would complete everything, right?
But she is in the industry, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
Is she?
because I think she wrote her partner was in the industry, but I'm not sure.
The County Fair Board, County Alliance.
Let's see.
Looks more like consulting.
6 years in local, state, and cannabis policy.
You said-
And then it does look like consulting, helping businesses and local government work.
Okay.
I'm still okay with that pick, so.
Yeah? Are we in agreement? All right. I think that's the pick. All right.
So, if you don't mind, I'll read them back.
Yes.
Okay, so the 7 applications or names that you are appointing would be Rebecca Harper for the Farm Bureau, Robert Geary, Tribal Government, Agriculture Commissioner Catherine Vanderwall, the Cannabis Alliance, Jennifer Smith, Cannabis Industry, Nora Del Baca, the Community Northeast Northwest will be Will West, and Community Southeast Southwest will be Jan Compinger. And that would include, that would be the 7 total.
Okay.
All right. Let's see, is there anything else that we have to open it up for public here from here forward? So if there's anyone in the room that would like to comment, and I think they're the participants, and I think I see somebody in Zoom with their hand up after, so after. Are you coming up to speak, sir? Okay. Nikki Carboni, I see your name. If you would, you have your hand raised, if you can unmute and go from there.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I had 2 quick questions. I was wondering if these task force meetings will be open to the public?
Yes.
Yes, they will.
Okay, and will they be bound by the Brown Act?
Yes, they will.
Okay, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Any other public comment? As I do not see any, so I'll bring it back to the board for action. Oh, yeah, just.
A motion? Okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Okay, Mr. Chair, I move that we appoint Rebecca Harper from the Farm Bureau. Oh, I'm sorry. I move that we make the following appointments for the Commercial Cannabis Ordinance Task Force. Rebecca Harper, Farm Bureau. Robert Geary, Tribal Ag Commissioner. Catherine Vanderwall. Cannabis Alliance, Jennifer Smith. Cannabis Industry, Nora Del Baca. Community Member Will Weiss, and Community Member Jan Coppinger.
Oh, second.
So I have a
Sorry, I was
motion.
reading all the names, I was reading.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
And motion carries 3-1. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.